Hello, everybody. Here we are live at. We're just a bit late. I had trouble getting on YouTube for some reason, but we're ready to get started on reveal number 432. This is a 1953 D plastic tube drill. I am going to shoot through all of the reveals today so I can get this package shipped off. And so here we go, getting started. It's a beautiful, beautiful coin on the end here. Hopefully the rest of them are in that condition too. Let me get this started out. It was in a Harris tube, which is inherently horrible because they don't fit well. Hello, Parvis. Alright, moving right along. Coin number 1. Let's go ahead and get started on coin number 1. This one goes to Mr. Carl. Looking for mainly RPMs in this roll. No idea what's going to be in here. I haven't looked through any of this yet. Well, that's a very interesting looking coin. I'm seeing something different that we're going to have to investigate a little bit further. I'm seeing what looks like the bottom of an S. Look at that. Looks like an S right there. That is weird. I'm going to have to look at that one much closer. Very first coin in the roll, and here we go. You had a birthday, Otis? Well, if you did, happy birthday, my friend. My wife's birthday was yesterday. I don't see anything else on this one. I'm going to hold this out because it appears as though there is a possibility there could be. Oh, okay, yeah. My wife. Birthday was good. We had a good time. We went and saw that movie about Elvis. While the actor who played Elvis in this did a wonderfully terrific job, the storyline of the show just wasn't really all there. I mean, the directing and everything of the movie itself, the storyline, just you don't learn anything new. I mean, anyone who knows anything about Elvis knows what they know, and this didn't bring anything new to the table. Okay, this one's a little spotty. Hopefully the rest of the roll cleans up a little better. Just looking at the coins, they look fine. But we'll look at the reverse of this one here real quick, and then we'll keep moving. Don't see anything on this coin. This one's for Steven. And we move on to coin number 3 now. Coin number 3 goes to Yo Man. And Yo Man, seeing what looks like machine doubling on the mint mark. Some not so great coins in here. I just busted the tape on this roll. I've never seen anything inside this roll before. I bought it as a BU roll of 1953 D Lincoln cents. Well, and that is what we're getting. They're just not high quality. That's coin number 3. Now looking at coin number 4. Number 4 for DN. Let's see what we find here. Is sometimes I use shadows to take a look at things to see if I see anything better or more than what I had seen in the light. You'll see my finger move across the light sometimes. That's my instant and very, very cheap tool to create a shadow so I can see things better. So I found that it works pretty well, and I've Had it for over 50 years. I've got a little bit of experience using it. So there we go. That's coin number 4. Now coin number 5. Paul Hampton. Let's see what we can do for Paul Hampton. Well, I haven't seen another one of those coins. It looks almost like an S up inside the 9. This one is a very minor lower split serif. I don't know if it's anything we're going to be able to call a listable RPM. In fact, it really just kind of doesn't look like much of anything. We are checking the reverses on the first 10 coins here. 1953D is not an issue that is known for double die reverses. So we'll give a quick poke into the world of double die reverses for this particular issue, but we're not going to spend a lot of time on it because, well, they just aren't known to exist. That's for Paul. Coin number 5 now up to, well, coin number 6 goes to Crispy. Crispy with coin number 6. And so far, nothing additional has come out of the roll other than that first coin that looked like it may possibly have an S mint mark inside the 9 of the date, which was very unusual. It's probably nothing, but that's how new stuff is discovered. Nothing there. Moving on now to coin number 7. Back to Paul again. And coin number 7 is not an RPM. So I got nothing there. Take a look at the reverse real quick. Coin number 7. Hello, Eric. I found something interesting that we're going to need to do an overlay on to prove against or for. It's a very interesting looking 1953D. It popped right off the top of the roll. And it looks to me that there's some small chance there could be an S inside the 9 of the date. I'm looking for another example of the same die. This one is a minor split lower serif, but I don't think we'd be able to call this one anything. And I keep looking. This roll did not fare extremely well in storage over a number of years, wherever it was stored. Now number 9. Back to Carl. And this one is probably an RPM. That looks like it is probably an RPM to the northeast. So we're definitely going to hold this one out. Looks like I might have found something here. And give this one a shot at possibly being attributed. That one's for Carl. And Carl's getting all kinds of lucky because he's got coin number 1, which is the other possible OMM coin. This one was the roll ender till somebody dumped him into a tube. But this coin was on the outside front of the roll. This one's going to penny hoarder. Don't see anything there except the toning. And the reverse, of course, was faced inward to the roll, so it is not toned. And not doubled. Now coin number 11. Jeff Dunn. I hope we find at least one more of those coins. That coin I saw that appeared to have an S in the 9. That wasn't just an anomaly or damage of some sort that made it look special. It had concentric die scratches like big wheels on the reverse of the coin. Was really the only marker I noticed. But there will be further study into this particular coin because it does look very strange. There's another one of the RPMs. Too bad this one has Larry on it. Reach out and touch someone's coin. Thank you, Larry. Might want to give up the chocolate bar next time. Alright, this one goes to Adam. That's coin number 12. And a definite second example of what I'm thinking is a Northeast RPM. Next coin. This one goes to Steven. Got nothing in or around the date and mint mark area on this one. I'm watching the I for doubling. I'm watching the motto up top for doubling. In and around the L of Liberty for doubling. In and around the date for doubling. And the mint mark itself. On the reverse of the ones I'm checking, which I'm not going to bother anymore in this roll, but I check the motto for any extra thickness or doubling. I check the center of the design for any doubling. This one looks like it was minted with a rusted die. It's interesting. But that one's for Steven. Move on now to coin number 14. Coin number 14 goes to Parvez. Hello, Carl and Jim. Good morning to you. It's actually not morning, is it? Well, that depends on where you are, right? It is still morning, technically, in the Mountain and Pacific time zones. Yeah, we ended up with a roll that doesn't have the highest quality. I'm just hoping to find goodies. Here's number 15. Back to Carl again. Carl seems to be really popular with the die varieties today. We'll go back after the end of the show and take a look again at coin number 1, which I believe to possibly have a S inside the 9 of the date, which would be a first. If we find it to be so, it would be a newsworthy discovery coin. But having a second example in the roll would certainly help a lot. And I have not seen one yet. If we don't find one, here's the other end coin. If we don't find one, then it's going to make it rather difficult for me to be convinced that the one coin we did find is. So we just keep looking. And we see what we see. It's got a minor upper split serif. If the lower serif is split, we'll keep it. Eesh, barely. I'll hold this out. Let Eric take a better look at it. See if he thinks it's something we can list. If so, then we'll get it listed. See nothing on the reverse. There we go. Coin number 18 now. Coin number 18 goes to Malcolm. And Malcolm... yeah, it looks like a normal coin. So we'll move on to number 19. Mr. Fletcher. Let's see what we can find for Jim. Well, 'tis unfortunately another Larry coin. And we will keep moving. Back to Deanne. We have so far found 2 examples of what I believe will be a confirmable RPM. It's a northeast, got a spike sticking up out of the top of the D. And then we have another coin that to me appears could possibly have an S in the 9 of the date. Possibly. Certainly nothing that I'm going to jerk a knee and say, yep, this is it. But it looks perhaps possible. Good morning, Sissy. Thomas Allen. How do you get your name on a card? Well, we won't be doing it for a while after this week. However, this is how it is generally done. On Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, but not until the first week of August. On Mondays, we broadcast a show where I announce all of the rolls that will be opened during the following week, and you have your opportunity to purchase one of the 50 spots, up to 3 spots actually out of the 50 spots in the roll. Then your name goes into the flip inserts, all completely selected at random. And when we open the roll, I reveal to myself and to you at the same time what your name is according to the number and the coin that you get. Then I put the coin inside the holder and it gets shipped to Florida. When it gets to Florida, I live in North Carolina, and when it gets to Florida, your coin is examined. There's another one of the RPMs right there. You can actually see a little bit, I think, of a bottom inside the mint mark. So I'm looking right here and right up here, and it looks like what I'm seeing is another part of this right here repeated up and to the right slightly. Anyhow, if I find a die variety like this inside the roll, well, Mr. Crispy here will get coin number 24, which is the coin you just saw, and it's an RPM. We'll figure out what the die number is for that, get an insert placed in there that has that die number on it, and then Crispy will receive that coin from Eric in Florida after the examination of the roll has taken place. So I'm opening the roll, going through the roll for the first time in who knows how many years. I am seeing or uncovering what we can see in here as far as goodies are concerned. And then I send the roll to Eric in Florida. He processes the roll. There's an RPM, a little minor one, but it is one nonetheless. Little split upper serif and a little split on the lower serif too. So we'll pull this to the side. Gosh, these coins are just a little grainy. Not really big on the quality of this roll. But the thing you have to do in order to get your name on a card is register with us first. Registration is free and it's easy. All you have to do is send your real name, your YouTube screen name, and your PayPal email address to coppercoinspayments@gmail.com. That's coppercoinspayments@gmail.com. Get that information to us. We'll get you registered, and you will be eligible to bid or purchase any of the items in the Copper Coins auctions or reveal shows. Here's one for Adam. Adam comes up next at coin number 28. And oh man, these coins are just not high quality. Hello, Mr. Wilson. We are doing relatively well today. Could be better. Could be looking at a fresh, beautiful gem roll of coins. But unfortunately, we are left with what we have. Good morning, Frank. How are you doing, sir? Oh, and Blockhead. I haven't seen Blockhead in a while. Here's Taco John. Taco John comes up next with coin number 29. Let's take a look at coin number 29, see what we get. I am carefully studying a particular spot in the date area on all these coins because coin number 1 came off the top of the roll and appears that it could possibly have an S inside the 9 of the date. I'm going to pull coin number 1 back out again. Take another quick look at it because I'm sure a lot of people have joined since coin number 1. This is coin number 1 again. And I'm seeing what looks like could be an S inside the 9 of the date. Let me bring this up in exposure just a little bit more. And see what I'm seeing here. Lower serif, lower curve, center, and then upper curve up here. It looks about the right size for an S. So I'm trying my best to find another example of this die to see if there's some chance that we can say, hey, we've got 2 of them. It has to be something real because we've got 2 of them. But I've not seen another one yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out just a little bit here, refocus, get my lighting set right, and then I'm going to look around for a marker on here that we can use to determine whether we're seeing another coin of this die. Got a die crack running across the brow, right across the brow from the upper bridge of the nose straight across above the eye. Let's see if we have anything a little bit better. Maybe there's a die crack in the back of the hair. Actually, there's a few die cracks on the head, but die cracks on the head are so common on 1953 Lincoln cents. I'm definitely going to want to find a better marker. The only other marker that I can really see is a small die scratch from the top of the 1 to the top of the 9. It's right here. It's a little angled die scratch. That's the only other thing I see other than my purported S, or what appears to be an S. So that's that. The reverse of this coin is riddled with concentric die scratches. And so that's something I'm definitely watching out for. But that was coin number 1 in the roll, and as soon as I slapped it under the scope, I was like, well, isn't that interesting? All right, next up is for Parvez. Parviz will get this coin right here. Well, now I know I don't have 100% original roll because I have 3 enders now. It's probably a conglomerate of 2 different rolls put together into a tube and then taped shut, where I consequently ended up with it. Here's number 31. 31 going to Malcolm. And it looks like we have nothing here. Gosh, I would hate to leave it with just that one coin, looking like it has an S in a very conspicuous spot. Because then I would have to make a decision based on a single coin, which I hate doing. It's happened before, though. But I have not yet seen another example. So that's my news story of the day. Trying to get one more. Seen that die before. Now I'm number 33. Taco John. Taco John. No. Not on that coin. Now number 34. Back to Boudreaux. Mr. Boudreaux. It seems like Larry got every one of these coins. Somebody was really excited to eat that chocolate bar before they dug through this roll. Here's number 35, Penny Hoarder. Nothing there. Now number 36. Next roll is going to be a 1945S. And then the last roll I'll tackle this afternoon. It's going to be our last reveal until August. It'll be a 1943D. 1943D roll. Kind of excited to go through the 43D roll. It's going to be one we haven't seen around a whole lot. A lot of really nice stuff you can find in 43D. Up now, number 37, Stanley. Oh, there we go. That's an RPM. That's a nice RPM right there. So Stanley gets a pretty coin. Coin Dragon's real quick with that explosion. Says, boom, there it is. Beautiful 53D. Not sure which RPM this is. I'm not looking right now for identification. I'm just looking for assertion, if that's a word. Ascertain. Certainment. Certification. Cross-pontification. Okay, George, shut up. Ratification of a new thinkitation. No, definitely not a drop dust. If it were a drop dust, it would actually be sunken. It would not be raised. It's another minor RPM there. It's another one of our little tiny split serif RPMs. We could actually be able to get this one identified. So it's going to go out in its own stack. That one for Yeoman. Now number 40. Number 40. We only have 11 examples left to try to find another one of our possible D over S. And this one is the Northeast RPM that we've been pulling. Of course, this coin is not really in any better shape than any of its partners. The coins look really nice when you just look at them. So you have to get them up underneath a scope for them to look so, I'm going to say, trashy. Hey, Mark. Guess what, Mark? He got here just in time for your coin to come up. Well, that's the other D style. There are actually two different styles of D mint mark for 1953, and this is the other one, the larger mint mark. It looks like it might be a really minor split serif RPM. Not really going to tout that one as such till we have a really good chance to look at it a lot closer. That's the first one of the other mint mark style I've seen in this roll. Now for Eric. Oh, there's another one of our nice RPMs for Eric. Bam, bam. There you go, my bro. All right. Thoughts from Mr. Eric. Up next, the other ender. So we've got 4 enders in this roll, which means we've got 2 rolls that were put together, but they were both original rolls. Another RPM. Pretty nice one, actually. But that is definitely going to lessen our chances of finding another one of those possible OMMs that we found as coin number 1 in the roll. Here's number 44. Hopefully we'll get back to the content of the first half of the roll so we get one of those, have a good chance to examine it. That one looks like it's a minor RPM too. Another minor RPM. Now on up to number 45. Mr. Fletcher. I'm 2 coins short. Damn. Man, these rolls didn't turn out to be what I thought they were going to be. 2 coins short in this roll. I have to give 2 people a credit. Whoever number 49 and number 50 are going to get a respendable credit. Here's number 46 now. Back to Eric. Nothing there. Nothing there for Eric. Yeah, I'm not completely sure why or how they ended up doing stuff like that. There's another RPM. A pretty nice RPM there. Looks like a D over D over D, west and east. Looks like, anyway. This one's earlier dice date than a lot of the other coins I've seen. Let's see. And again, nothing on the reverse. That was for Stanley. You pull that off for Stanley. Now coin number 48. Unfortunately, the last coin in this roll for Taco John. And not another one of the possible S mint mark inside the 9 of the date coins. Possible. We're going to have to do some real study on that. Come back and see what we think. I'll announce it when we figure it out. Let me see who gets credit. We have one for Parviz and one for Mr. Boudreau. Sorry guys, I had a roll that was actually taped shut. I thought it was a real original roll, and it turns out there were 2 coins missing. That's the shakes sometimes. I'll get you guys credit for this reveal, and you can apply it toward any other reveal any other time. So our die varieties, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and a possible 13. So it's not too bad. Of course, not great, but it's not too bad. And that is our 1953D roll. We will be digging into the 1945S roll as soon as I have a chance to get this wrapped up and get the coins out for the other one. So I will be back, I'm going to say right on the hour, about 11 minutes from now at 2 o'clock. I'll see you guys. What? Eyelid on Taco John's last one. Let's see. Eyelid on Taco John's last one. Okay, let's see. Here's Taco John's last one. No. Not an eyelid. It's actually part of a Larry, unfortunately. Bummer. Alright, folks, I'll be back in 10 minutes with the next roll, 1945S. Why don't you join me? We'll have some fun together. I'll talk to you then.